Hey, what's up, Colts fans? Welcome back to the Common Colt Podcast. The Colts Podcast with real takes and no clickbait. And Colts fans, the Colts lose their season opener. What else is new? By 2 points against the Houston Texans in a game which was honestly a roller coaster. And I want you guys to just take a moment and comment below what your one-word reaction is and just tell me how you felt about the game. There's a lot we're going to talk about and unpack today in this kind of quick reactionary video. My one word is actually two words. It's growing pains. I felt the Colts had some situations where they maybe could have won this game just by a play here or play there. But that's what a very young team does, is they find a way to lose games or do just not enough to win games. And I think we saw that today. A quick Anthony Richardson review or recap or grade, because I know a lot of people are going to be talking about it and his performance. Good news is, as of now, from everything I'm hearing, he exited the game healthy, which is great news for the Colts. I think he showed why he was a top 5 pick today. His arm is out of this world. Some of those throws he was making down the field was very impressive. I thought that he showed his athleticism on some big runs in the goal line, that touchdown run, picking up some just picking up first downs. He's a freak. He was a Colts leading rusher today, above Jonathan Taylor, which is somewhat disappointing. You would expect Taylor to contribute a little bit more, but the Texans defensive line showed up and their front seven showed up to play. Now, some of the bad, he threw under 50% completion percentage, and you're not going to win very often in the NFL if your number one quarterback throws under 50%. That is not good. Some of those were his fault. Some of them weren't. The two big ones, though, the misses to Mitchell, not good at all. You've got to hit AD on the sideline there. There was 2 guaranteed touchdowns probably that he missed today. You just cannot do that, and he's got to improve on that. Now, that said, I do have some cautious optimism, because I feel like in the pocket, he's making his reads, he's looking downfield, he's throwing to open guys, which he's not seeing ghosts out there, and he doesn't look like he doesn't belong. And these are near misses, and I hope with some good coaching and some good mechanic coaching, he can get there. So that's a reason to be optimistic. He's not Sam Darnold out there. He's not seeing ghosts. He's not throwing in 3-man coverage and taking the snap, panicking and running. He's throwing to guys. He's reading the defenses, and he's throwing to the open guy. So maybe, I'm going to rate him a C+ today, a C+ performance. You can't throw under 50%. You can't miss 2 touchdowns and get higher than that. So that's a solid grade, but man, oh man, does he have a cannon of an arm, and he helped keep the Colts in that football game. Now, here is the real problem. And when I think about this game and maybe a bigger issue overall, and I'm a Chris Ballard, somewhat of a Chris Ballard apologist. I stand up for Chris Ballard quite a bit, but something that cannot happen that happened today is our biggest weakness was on the defensive side of the ball, which should have been our strength. When you think about Joe Mixon rushing for 159 yards, which was the most rushing yards a player has had on the Colts since 2020, Derrick Henry, and you think about the investment Ballard has put into that D-line, first-round pick on Latu, first-round pick on Kwity Paye, you traded a first-round pick for D-Buck. That's 3 first-rounders that you've either drafted or traded for, and then you're paying Grover Stewart a lot of money to perform at a high level. That D-line has to perform. You cannot allow 159 yards rushing when the strength of your team is supposed to be in the trenches. Hey, offensive line was also supposed to be the strength of our team today, and I don't think we got great push in the run game. That is a bad look on Chris Ballard, a very, very bad look on Chris Ballard. The team overall, I think they're young. They had the growing pains, and this is a game they could have won. And when you think about this D-line, veteran, Kwity Paye's a veteran now. Grover Stewart's a vet. D-Buck's a vet. They have to step up and make plays and stop the run. And the defense really, really let us down. We talked all offseason about the secondary and how they didn't really make any moves in the secondary to kind of bolster that up and get a veteran presence. Late in the game, C.J. Stroud completing passes on our secondary. We're not getting any pressure on C.J. Stroud for most of the game. That is just inexcusable. And I hate to say it because I still like Chris Ballard. And I think Luck retiring really set him back. But at the same time, that's stuff that gets general managers fired. And I'm not here to push the panic button on the season. I'm not going to overreact today and say Chris Ballard should be fired. But if that continues, if our defensive line continues to underperform like they did today, that is the stuff that gets general managers fired. That has to be corrected fast. Good news is we have the talent with Buckner. We know what we have with Stewart. Kwity Paye has somewhat underachieved. I know he's had some injuries, and Latu's, I mean, it was his first game. So that said, I do think that the Colts, they were close against a playoff team, a team that won a playoff game, a team that's going to make a push for the Super Bowl maybe in Houston. So I'm not too low on the team. I'm not going to sit here and overreact and say we need to just abandon ship, fire Ballard, like some people say on Overreaction Monday for week one. At the end of the day, it's week one, and I feel like some of the young guys really showed their stuff. Mitchell showed that he can get open, and I know Richardson missed him, but he's just getting open. I like to see that. Richardson showed his athleticism and his big play capability. We did not see that at all last year. So there's some reason for optimism. It's only week one. I do think that the Colts have a good opportunity here, week two, to get a win over the Green Bay Packers. When you think about Jordan Love being out that game, it sure would have been nice to get a win here, because maybe we can start off the season stringing together a couple of wins. That wasn't the case. We knew it was going to be a tough game playing Houston, but that's just kind of how it goes sometime. If I'm going to give a Curtis Painter game ball to somebody, obviously sometimes you want to give somebody a game ball for what they did good, but when they lose, we got to toss our Curtis Painter game ball. So I'm just going to give my Curtis Painter game ball to that defensive line. Front seven, you can't have a running back rush for 159 yards on you and expect to win the game. And they, especially when they have CJ Stroud at quarterback, who really did a great job extending plays today, moving around in the pocket. CJ Stroud was as good as advertised in the draft, and the Texans, they've got themselves a guy. So we have to learn to get after him next game. So Curtis Painter game ball goes to the defensive line, front seven. Guys, this is my just quick gut reaction to a week one loss. After a few days, after we kind of soak in and kind of get past some of this pain, I'm sure it'll feel a little bit better. However, it sucks. We lost week one again. We're looking forward to week two. Football is back. The Colts are back. Richardson, there's still reason for optimism. Mitchell, there's reason for optimism there. So we do have some reason for hope and happiness. We just would sure like to get a week one win eventually. Guys, if you enjoyed this show, don't forget to subscribe. I appreciate you watching. And until next time, have a great day.